Hey everybody, Payments Professor here, and I got to tell you, I'm so excited about the EPCOR conference that's coming up. I had a chance to have a little discussion with Lee, and all I did was ask him a couple of questions, and he unloaded some major knowledge when it comes to payments. He's going to have even more to unload when it comes to re-envisioning the future of payments, October 27th and 28th. But if you'd like a quick sneak peek, here you go.
Happy to do that, Professor. Hey and hi do everybody. Really excited about joining you guys at the end of October. Yes, and I'm going to be talking about strategy for the next abnormal because I no longer believe in normal. And I think we need to get away from the mindset of thinking we're going to return to something that approaches what we think we once knew as normal. Because what we now know is that due to the hyperconnectivity of our world, the unpredictable only becomes more probable over time. And that requires a brand new mindset. And what does that mean exactly for payments? And that's what I'm going to be talking about and unpacking a bit at the end of October when I join you guys.
So is this kind of like the comment where people have said, or the quote, the famous quote, the only thing that's consistent is change, that we're going to consistently see change?
Yeah, but I think we actually have to be concrete about that now. So this is not an idea that originates with me, but Nassim Taleb, the author of The Black Swan, has been saying this and making the mathematical case for it for quite some time. In fact, he built an investment strategy around it, is that the more hyper-connected the world becomes, you can't insulate yourself from any problem that happens anywhere. Right? That's exactly why we have a pandemic. A virus breaks out in one part of the world, it becomes a global pandemic. A major economy takes a hit in one part of the world, all major economies suffer. So our world only becomes more connected over time and exposes us to a cavalcade of what we would have thought of historically as once in a lifetime disruptions. Well, we're going to see disruption after disruption after disruption. So that really shakes at its foundations, this concept of a normal, or even what average is. And in fact, we're going to talk about that in the context of payments too, all while payments specifically are speeding up. So what do you do about that? What should your posture be? And what does that mean for helping people in their moments of need in the context of money, and specifically in the context of payments, since payments basically spawn 60% of all reach outs, that is inquiries from customers and members to their respective financial institutions. And so we're going to be talking about that intersection of the rise of full service digital in the wake of the pandemic and what that means for payments even beyond the pandemic and thereafter.
All right, that's awesome to hear, Lee, because I would love to hear too, what do you think is the main thing that the banks and credit unions are going to get out of your presentation, besides seeing your passion for payments, besides the fact that you're a speaker like me who talks a lot with your hands, besides the fact that you use the word cavalcade in a sentence? What can we really see from your presentations? What's the one thing that, hey, banks, credit unions, you're going to want to be there for this?
I think the one thing to take away is to remind us, is really to pull our heads up, right? People like you and like the folks at EPCOR who are so expert in how money moves, all the different ways in which it moves, all the different rule sets that govern the way in which money moves. You have to remember that's tactical. And as tactical folks, and I like you grew up in payments, as tactical folks, we tend to look very tactically at payments. And so when we look at faster payments and real-time payments becoming ubiquitous over the next 3 to 5 years, we're tactically just thinking about very practical things like fraud, right? How do you combat, mitigate, or prevent fraud in real time? But what I want everyone to do, and this is what I hope everyone takes away from my remarks, is for everyone to pull their head up out of the tactics just for a minute and think about strategically what all of this means for your particular bank and your credit union, and even really more particularly, what it means for your particular customers and your members in terms of their psychology and their experience of payments, and how it changes the moments of need, how rapid they are, and what's needed in terms of service and support in and at the moment of need through digital channels, personally, by the way, to resolve those pains. As anybody knows, when you are dealing with a payment that you don't recognize, or a payment that got timed in the wrong way, and suddenly you're worried about whether your family's finances are going to make it fully through the end of the month and make that last bill payment, payments become really personal and really meaningful, right? Money itself is a psychological construct. Kevin, money doesn't really exist. It only exists because we all believe that it exists. And so what that means is that payments in particular, in terms of how we move money and value around, are always going to be emotionally fraught. There's always meaning on the originating and the receiving end of payments. And that's where the strategy work gets really interesting in payments. And that's what I'm going to challenge everybody at EPCOR to do when we gather together at the end of October, is think strategically about what these shifts, both in our world, in terms of the higher frequency of disruptions that are coming to us in the future, and faster and instant payments all coming online at the same time. What does all of that mean strategically? And what also does that mean you should do in the short term as we get closer to that ubiquitous world of real-time payments in the context of more and more disruption? Come see me at the Re-envisioning the Future of Payments 2020 at EPCOR at the end of October, October 27 to be particular. See you there.
Hey, everybody, what did you think about that? Are you as excited as I am about being able to see Lee at the upcoming Re-envisioning the Future of Payments conference, online, of course, brought to you by EPCOR? It's October 27th and October 28th. If you want more information, go to epcor.org and learn more. Make sure you register. I'll see you there.